Whitney Houston's personal bodyguard sat down with TMZ and told his side of the story. This man protected Whitney for over 12 years. He was in that building the day Oprah says Whitney fell off her stage while high on drugs. And he says, that is not what happened. Part 3 of the Whitney Files starts right now. If you are just finding this channel, welcome to the royal community. You need to go watch parts 1 and 2 before this video because this is an ongoing story and the context matters. I'm going to put the links in the description. Go watch those first, then come on back. But for those of you who have been here from the beginning, here's where we are. Oprah Winfrey went to Cannes, France, accepted an award, and told the world that the last time Whitney Houston appeared on her show, Whitney showed up high on drugs, fell off the stage, and Oprah begged her audience not to tell anyone or take pictures. She framed it as protecting Whitney. Whitney's estate, run by Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law and manager, fired back immediately. They said Whitney was absolutely not high that day. They said she fell during sound check in the dark because the stage edge was not properly lit. And Pat ended her statement with words that have stayed with me since reading it. We owe her the dignity of telling the truth, not repeating myths. And now a third voice has entered this conversation, and this one carries more weight than any of the others. Ray Watson was Whitney Houston's personal bodyguard for more than 12 years. Let that sink in. 12 years. While Oprah saw Whitney occasionally on a talk show set, Ray Watson was with her every single day because his job was to know where Whitney was, what was happening around her, and to protect her at all costs. And on February 11, 2012, Ray Watson was the first person to find Whitney Houston's body at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. The first person. He carried that moment for 14 years, and now he is sitting down in front of a camera defending her memory. When Ray Watson speaks about Whitney Houston, he speaks from a place that nobody else in this conversation can claim. Not Oprah, not me, not anyone watching this video. He was there for all of it. Ray Watson sat down exclusively with TMZ and spoke about the day Whitney fell at Oprah's taping. Here is what he said, and I want you to hear this directly from Ray.
You were there the day that Whitney Houston fell off the stage during the sound check at Oprah's show. Take us back to that day. What happened?
I don't know whether it was a sound check or they was actually doing I can't remember exactly when she fell, but she was coming toward the front of the stage, and it's a drop off, and it's sort of like a dark spot there. So when she got to the edge, I think somebody told her, "Watch, be careful, watch it," and then she went down. But so we got to her, but she got up. Matter of fact, she made fun about it.
What did she say when she was making fun about it?
She was just laughing. She said, "I didn't see that." She said, "I didn't even see that." I said, "That's obvious. You didn't see it."
Oprah had suggested that she had relapsed and the fall was due to her being high. Do you think that was the case?
No, I think the case was she didn't really know that stage. And when she walked out there, she stepped off of it, stepped off the end onto the next level. That was the case. I don't know. I guess I would did the same thing if I didn't, because it was sort of dark right there where she stepped off at. From her point of view, she might have thought that she was. I'm not downing nobody. I'm just saying that she wasn't. I would know.
Do you think Oprah should apologize to Whitney's fans and to her family?
Only if she feel that way. Don't do it because somebody else. Be truthful about it. You got to be truthful about it. Don't switch up or apologize if you don't really mean it. That's the way I stand on it. If you don't really mean it, go on with it. Because you know what? Whitney's not here to rebuttal. She's not here. So You never hear her telling me being on the interviews and talking to people too much because she's not here to back up what I say, or she's not here to rebut what I say. So why talk about it?
Yeah.
Just like that right there. Now, they say that she waited so many years before she said it. Well, why didn't you say it then? She's dead. She's gone. My sister gone.
Yeah.
So she can't say, no, I know that no, I wasn't. You might think I was, but I was not. She can't say that.
Now, I want to be precise about what Ray Watson is saying because every single word matters. He says Whitney was walking toward the front of the stage. The edge was in a dark spot. Someone tried to call out to her to warn her, but she didn't hear them in time. She went down, she laughed it off. She was not embarrassed. And he said he would have done the same thing in that same dark spot. That is not the account of a woman who was stumbling around allegedly on stage while high on drugs. That is the account of a professional performer who missed a step in a poorly lit area during a sound check. And here's what makes Ray account so significant. Pat Houston said the same thing. Whitney's estate said the same thing. Now, the man who was physically present, the man whose entire job was to watch Whitney and know what was happening to her at all times, is saying the same thing. We now have multiple people who all were in Whitney's world, all telling a consistent story, and one person telling a different story on a stage in France while accepting an award. And I have to be honest with you, royal community, because this is something I feel strongly about, and I think it needs to be said. I feel that this is a story that should have never been disclosed. What Oprah did at Cons was tell a private story about a woman who is no longer here to defend herself. Think about what that means. Oprah made sure her audience that day did not take pictures. She made sure they did not post videos. She controlled that information for over 15 years. And then she chose to release it herself on a global stage at a prestigious film award while accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award. While we haven't gotten any footage just yet, we'll wait. But here we have another person who is challenging the credibility of Oprah's account of what happened that day. Whitney Houston went home to glory in 2012. She cannot sit down for an interview and tell her side. She cannot post on social media and correct the record. She cannot call her lawyer and issue a statement. The only people who can speak for her now are the people who loved her, worked with her, and were in that room that day. Oprah made sure nobody talked about that day for 15 years. And the moment she decided to talk, she talked about it in a way that painted Whitney as being high on stage in front of a global audience at her own award ceremony. And Whitney Houston, the greatest voice of all time, is not here to say that is not what happened. That is not protection, guys. That is not honoring someone's legacy. That is controlling a narrative at the expense of a woman who can no longer speak. Here's the part of Ray Watson's interview that I found most interesting because he did not come out demanding that Oprah apologize. He said, and I'm being precise here, that Oprah does not owe an apology unless she actually means it. Read between the lines on that. Ray Watson has seen enough of Hollywood to know that a public apology from a powerful person often has nothing to do with genuine remorse and everything to do with managing public perception. He is essentially saying a hollow apology from Oprah would be worse than no apology at all because it would be one more story that centers Oprah rather than Whitney. This is a man who has processed real grief. That is a man who has found his sister, Whitney, as he referred to her, body and had to carry that for 14 years. He is not interested in performances. He wants truth. And if Oprah cannot offer truth, he would rather she say nothing. And I respect that more than anything else said in this entire conversation. So here's where we are in this story. We have Clive Davis, the man who discovered Whitney, who built her career, who is closer to her professionally than almost anyone, who died Monday. We have Oprah, who saw something on that stage and chose to cover it up for 15 years before choosing to reveal it at her own award ceremony. We have Pat Houston, Whitney's sister in law and manager, who emphatically denies Oprah's versions of events. We have Rosie O'Donnell, who saw warning signs, tried to speak up, and told to mind her business. And now we have Ray Watson, the man who protected Whitney every single day for 12 years and was the first person to find her when she went home to glory, who says what Oprah described is not what happened. The two people who were closest to Whitney, her sister in law and manager who ran her life, and the bodyguard who protected her every single day for 12 years, are both telling the same story. And it directly contradicts what Oprah said on that stage in France. Whitney Houston deserved better from the people who claimed to love her when she was alive. And she deserves better from the people telling her story now that she is gone. That dignity of the truth, as Pat Houston said, is the least we owe her. So I want to know what the royal community thinks. Drop your answers in the comments right now. Number your responses so I can find them. Number one, does Ray Watson's account change how you see this story? He was there, he was her protector. Does his voice carry the most weight of anyone who has spoken so far? Number two, do you think Oprah Winfrey owes a real apology? Or would it be hollow at this point, the way Ray suggested? And number three, and I really want to hear this one. What do you think Ray Watson felt being the first person to find Whitney's body after protecting her for 12 years? Because that is a weight I cannot imagine carrying. Drop your numbers below, 1, 2, or 3. I read every single comment and I will be in there responding today. Before you go, if you made it this far, you are already a part of the royal community. Hit that subscribe button, like this video if I gave you something to think about today. Share it with somebody who needs to hear this. Somebody, anybody, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Also, if you would like to support this channel and see how it grows and see it grow even bigger, please check out my ebooks. Prenups, postnups, and power moves. A simple, honest guide to money protection and power in relationships. The link is in the link tree in the bio as well as in the description. Until next time, stay crowned royals. I'll see y'all in the next video.